This week, we may get a preview of the future for vaccine policy here in the U.S.
Now, the main board overseeing vaccine research and approval is set to meet and potentially set a radical new agenda.
Here's a look at what could be at stake.
Despite promises not to upend the U.S. vaccine system, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. could be on the verge of expanding an already historic shakeup. It began with the firing of all 17 members of a panel that advises the Centers for Disease Control and other government agencies on vaccines earlier this month. Stanford infectious disease specialist Dr. Bonnie Maldonado, who played a major role in the Bay Area response to the COVID pandemic, was in the middle of her 3-year term on the board known as ACIP.
I think what surprised all of us was the massive termination of the entire membership of ACIP and the very rapid institution of 8 new members with no transparency about how they were chosen.
The 8 new members appointed by Kennedy will hold their first official meetings this week. After reviewing the agenda, some experts have expressed concern that the group, which includes several vaccine skeptics, could begin to sow doubt about safety and the approval process itself, repeating disproven claims of ties to autism or a lack of rigorous testing. Dr. Maldonado did not comment on the new panel directly, but in a letter published by the Journal of the American Medical Association, she helped defend the integrity of the current vaccine approval system and the years of work that go into vetting a single drug.
So I think one of the things that the public doesn't understand is that when we hear the secretary saying that these are rubber stamp votes, well, the discussion has been going on for weeks, months, and sometimes years about a particular product. By the time it comes to the meeting, there have been many hundreds of hours spent.
And against that backdrop, at least 4 states are reportedly considering issuing their own recommendations and possibly ordering vaccines directly from manufacturers. Dr. Jake Scott is also an infectious disease specialist at Stanford. He says at the end of the day, it's the accuracy of the science that's critical.
And so I completely understand the motivation to develop alternative bodies of experts who can truly comment on, and weigh in on the risks versus benefits and alternatives and public health.
And while creating state-level vaccine networks would be a radical shift, other experts worry about a future where some vital vaccine research moves out of the U.S. itself.
They're going to continue to do this work because they all know, as do leaders around the world, that vaccines are an amazing investment in public health.
Observers say another wild card in all of this with any major change is the insurance component and whether companies would be willing to pay for vaccinations no longer approved by the federal government.